السلام عليكم أيها الأخوة المشاهدون على القناة اليوتيوبية وعلى الفيس وتويتر وجميع وسائل التواصل الاجتماعي، ورحمة الله وبركاته. نلتقي من جديد من دالاس بالولايات المتحدة الأمريكية، ومع برنامج حوارات، ومع الحلقة 51. وهذه الليلة أو هذه الحلقة بإذن الله تعالى ستكون عن مؤسسة المساواة، وسنكون مع المؤسس مورك، الأستاذ مورك، وكذلك بصحبة الأستاذ فيك. أهلا بكم وسهلا. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you. طبعا الأستاذ مورك أيضا عنده أو يعمل في جمعية حقوق الإنسان في تكساس بجانب مؤسسة مساواة. ممكن تحدثنا عن هذه المؤسسة بشكل عام؟
Sure. I'm involved. I'm a member of the Human Rights Campaign. I used to be on its board of governors, and I'm also on the board of Equality Texas. Those two organizations fight for equality for lesbians, gay, transgender, and questioning individuals. So the LGBTQ community. One works nationally, the Human Rights Campaign, and one works in Texas, and that's Equality Texas. So those are the two organizations.
طبعا هو يعمل في حقوق الإنسان، مؤسسة حقوق الإنسان، وكذلك أيضا مؤسسة مساواة. وطبعا مؤسسة حقوق الإنسان هو عضو فيها وكان يعني سابقا في الإدارة. أما مساواة تكساس فهو من المدراء يعني النافذين فيها، والهدف هو تحقيق المساواة بين أعضاء المجتمع في دالاس. نأتي الآن إلى سؤال: هل الإنسان في ذاته قيمة، يعني أو أن هناك قيم تحمي هذا الإنسان؟
There are laws that protect humans. There's civil rights laws from the 1964 time period that protects people from being discriminated on the basis of their race, their sex, their religion, their national origin, and but not sexual orientation.
Thanks.
But the value of a human, all humans are valuable. All lives matter. So we have these laws to help protect the fact that we know that intrinsically all people are valuable.
Thanks.
So let me add a little more. Our Constitution actually requires that the governments provide equal protection to all, and that's regardless of any differentiation. It's equal protection for all. Our First Amendment to our Constitution and our Bill of Rights protects the freedom of exercise of religion, as well as prohibits the establishment by the state of a state religion. So they go hand in hand. The state can't establish a religion that would be to the disadvantage and would make it more difficult for others to actually exercise their religion as they see fit.
Thanks. يقول بكل تأكيد طبعا حق الإنسانية وحق المساواة لجميع البشر، في ذلك أيضا حق الحياة. وفي عام 1964 طبعا جاءت قوانين في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية تحمي البشر في جميع الجوانب، بما في ذلك العرقية والدينية والجنسية. طبعا من الأمور الجميلة أيضا في هذه القوانين أعطت الحرية لجميع الأديان بلا تفريق. سابقا كان الدين هو المسيطر على القانون فأدى إلى ظلم باقي الأديان، أما الآن لا، القانون هو مسيطر على جميع الأديان وأعطى الحرية لجميع الأديان. نأتي إلى السؤال الآن: كيف نقرأ القيمة الإنسانية في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية بين الجانب الجمهوري وبين الجانب الديمقراطي؟
Between the two parties, primarily, one party believes in providing more protections to individuals to make sure that they can succeed and without discrimination, and so they tend to believe in a welfare state. The other party tends to believe that that is bad for humans, that the best thing for humans is for them to strive on their own and succeed on their own. And so you have a different view. I think both parties probably value humans the same, but one thinks the government should do more to help people, and one party thinks the government should do less to help.
And the party that feels more inclined to help is the Democratic Party, and the party that's less inclined to help the individual, more inclined to allow them to do whatever they're going to do, less restricted, would be the Republican Party.
طيب، يقولون على أن الديمقراطية والجمهورية في الجملة الكل يسعى يعني لإعطاء قيمة الإنسان، ولكن هناك مجموعة في فرق، هناك مجموعة ترى على أن الحكومة هي التي تقوم بتوفير أو من وظائفها أن تسعى بشكل جدي وأن توفر هذه القيمة الإنسانية وحريات الناس، بينما في مجموعة أخرى تقول على أن الفرد هو بنفسه من يقوم بذلك ويضعف دور الحكومة. فهم يقولون على أن الديمقراطيين في الجملة يمثلون الرأي الأول، بينما الجمهوريون يمثلون الرأي الثاني. نأتي الآن: أيهما أشد في نظركما، الصراع العرقي أم الديني أم السياسي؟
I think probably in the U.S. it's racism. It may be different in other parts of the world, but in the U.S. I think there's less religious strife, although when there is religious strife, it's frequently based also on racism.
Yeah, I would agree. Racism is probably one of the most detrimental things, the thing that's keeping people from liking each other the most. Racism is one of those bad things that focuses on the things that are different between people to make people not like the differences. But there are so many things about people that are the same that should be celebrated. So racism splits people apart, and it's I think the most detrimental because it splits people apart.
يقول على أن العرقية هي أسوأ شيء خصوصا في الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. طبعا يتكلم هنا عن الولايات، لا يعرف بالنسبة للعالم. ويضيف الأستاذ فيب على أن طبعا احنا متفقون في أشياء كثيرة جدا، ولكن للأسف أننا نركز على المختلف ولا نهتم بهذا المشترك. لعلي أوجه لك السؤال: لماذا قلت على أن العرقية هي أسوأ؟ في آخرين يقولون أن الدينية هي أخطر شيء لأنها تنطلق من الغيب أو من الورائيات. بعضهم يرى على أن السياسة هي أسوأ شيء لأن عندها القوة وقد تستغل الدين وقد تستغل يعني العرق لتحقيق مصالحها.
Well, and I think it's tough to choose. And that's why I qualified by saying I think in the U.S. it's racism, although I pointed out that a lot of the religious strife in the U.S. is a result of, I believe, racism. A lot of individuals who might have issues with the Muslim religion, it's because of racism. It's also religion, but it's predominantly, I think, in the U.S., then it's racism. But the truth of the matter is, they're all equally bad, and we're being asked to indicate which is worse, and I'm only answering in my very small, limited area. I mean, I think there are other parts of the world where it may be more religion, or in other parts it may be more political, but it's just a sense that it's racism.
And I think that you bring up a good point about religion, in that people do bad things, and they do so in the name of religion. Some of the things that they do may be racially inclined, some are just violence motivated, but at its core, consider that religion helps society maintain structure. And when you look at all the religions, the overwhelming majority of them talk about loving each other, not hating each other. And so when we think about religions as a motivating factor, it isn't the religion itself that's motivating people to hate. It's the difference that one group has between another group, and someone is telling them those differences are more important than loving those people.
Well, yeah, and I agree with that. I'll just point out, for example, the strife that was in Ireland between Northern Ireland, which was Protestant, and southern part of Ireland, which was Catholic. That was not racism, that was religion. And so in different parts of the world, it can be different causes for the strife. It's just, I don't see, except for, say, the Muslim travel ban, religious strife in the U.S., although I think the Muslim travel ban was more racially based than religious based.
يؤكد على أن العرق في أمريكا هو أسوأ شيء رغم صعوبة تحديد ما هو الأسوأ. يعني يقول في أمريكا أحيانا قد يمنع المسلمين أو يطالب بعض من المسلمين من الدخول، لكن السبب في الحقيقة عرقي. بل حتى الخلافات الدينية لو رجعنا إلى أصلها سنجدها خلافات عرقية. نعم، مثلا في إيرلندا الشمالية والجنوبية الخلاف بين الكاثوليك والبروتستانت ديني، أما في أمريكا عرقي. وأيضا صاحبه يضيف على أن الدين فيه أشياء جماليات، إلا أن هناك من يفعل أشياء السيئة باسم الدين، أو يركزون على الجوانب الخلافية والسيئة ويتركون الجوانب الإيجابية في الأديان. نأتي إلى سؤال آخر. بعضهم يرى أن الساسة، دعنا من السياسة نقول الساسة، أحيانا يستخدمون مصطلح التسامح، مصطلح التعايش، مصطلح المساواة، ولكن يريدونها لأهداف خاصة، يضعونها متى ما يريدون ويرفعونها متى ما يريدون.
I would say I don't think that happens typically, or at least clearly there could be those who are not sincere and take advantage of that, and then once they're elected, then don't deliver on their promises. So that clearly does happen. But for the most part, those who are really committed to equality and human rights, when they get elected, try to pursue that. They may not be successful because there may be others in the legislature who won't agree, or it makes it more difficult to pass. But most of them, I think, will try to accomplish what they ran on. Because if you don't accomplish what you run on, then you will lose the next time. You will lose, the people who voted for you will not vote for you again. And let me elaborate if I can. I think the biggest problem is not people who run on equality and then don't pursue it. Our bigger problem are those who don't run on equality at all. I would point I would point Donald Trump as a perfect example of someone who never espouses the view of equality, and is now elected and is doing everything he can to make a more conflicted and divisive world.
When he ran his campaign was basically a campaign of racism. It was all about not agreeing with the people around you, being isolated from everyone else. And he's in office now, and everything that he's done is everything that he said he would do in that regard. So he ran on an anti-equality campaign, and he is delivering it. And so that's our problem.
يقول على أنه لا يعتقد أن هؤلاء السياسيين يقولون بهذا الشيء ثم يخالفون، لأنه أساسا يريد أن يصل إلى هذه الأشياء، فهو ينادي ويطبقها ليحافظ على هذا الأمر ويترشح مرة أخرى. وصاحبه يقول أنا لا أخاف طبعا من هؤلاء الذين يقولون بهذا الشيء ثم لا ينفذون، ولكن يخاف من الناس الذين لا يرون ذلك الشيء أو ضد ذلك الشيء ثم لما يصلوا ينفذوا ما يرونه هم من تعصب ومن تمييز، كما ذكر مثالا في الرئيس الحالي. نأتي إلى سؤال آخر، ما يتعلق بالقانون. هل التسامح والتعايش والمساواة بحاجة إلى قانون، أم أنها مبادئ في الحقيقة مفروض أن تنغرس من ذاتها في الإنسان؟ هل بحاجة إلى قوانين تحميها؟
I believe laws are needed to protect. I think we need infrastructure as well from religious institutions, schools. The community also influences and encourages equality and protection of human rights, but laws give teeth to those protections.
And we have the laws to protect people because there are people who would use them against, use religion and other entities against people. By trying to protect the people, even to the smallest degree, what you're really saying is that all people are valuable. And we believe that so much that we have a law that protects people and the value of those people. So I also agree that we need laws to protect people. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't agree with that, and that's what the law is to protect those people from, are those who would use it against them.
Thanks.
And also, I'll point out I'm a lawyer, so of course I would think laws would help.
And I'm medical, so I believe in protecting the people.
نعم، نحن كما يقول بحاجة إلى قوانين تحمي الحقوق والمساواة، وهناك أشخاص في الحقيقة ضد المساواة وضد هذه الدعوات ومع التمييز. فإذا لم يوجد هناك هذه حقوق وهذه المساواة، هذا بالأمر سيؤدي بلا شك، عذرا إذا لم توجد قوانين، هذا التمييز العنصري سوف يكبر. ومورك يقول هو محامي في الحقيقة ويفهم هذه القضية. السؤال قبل الأخير، كيف نحقق في نظركم قيمة المساواة في المجتمع البشري؟ قد تكون أمريكا تقدمت خطوات رائعة جدا، ولكن هناك مجتمعات أخرى يعني تعاني من التمييز الكبير.
I would say that the way to spread at least from our perspective, human rights is by example. Other countries and other peoples, our government, how we treat other people here, and then for us to advocate for that at the United Nations, and to advocate for human rights around the world, to have our government advocate for human rights around the world, and also to have student exchanges. And tourism, for example, is a great way for people to be exposed to our views of living with a very diverse population in the U.S. and the world is very diverse, and we all share the same planet, and we all have to learn how to respect and get along with everyone else.
Thanks.
And I think that the underlying message in all this is that the more you know somebody, the less you really hate them. The more you really understand them, the less you want to hate them, the more you want to get along with them. So being able to understand people in this country, in other countries around the world, the more we share these values, the more we share our knowledge between each other, the more we share our values and see that those values of protecting our kids, of wanting the best for our families, of good jobs, loving our pets, the more that we see that we have these things in common, I think the more that we will like each other and the less that we will hate each other.
يقول على أنه نعرض أفكارنا وننشرها للآخر، وكذلك تبادل في طلاب المدارس، وأيضا تشجيع السياحة ذهابا وإيابا، بحيث تتلاقح الثقافات ويستفيد البعض من الآخر، ويضيف صاحبه أفضل طريقة في نظره هو أن نتعرف على الآخر بحيث نكسر حاجز البعد أو حاجز عدم فهم الآخر. فكلما تعرفنا على الآخر وفهمنا الآخر كلما اقتربنا واستفدنا منه. آخر سؤال، لعل في قضية أمريكا تطرح يعني في الخارج هي قضية البيض والسود. هذه قضية جدلية يعني تعلقت بأمريكا فترة طويلة. هل تجاوزتها أمريكا نتيجة مطالبتها بحقوق الإنسان مساواة، هم لا زال المجتمع الأمريكي يخاف من قضية عودة مرة أخرى الصراع بين البيض والسود؟
Well, there's always, there has been, and I suppose there always will be, to the end of time, some differences, some animosity. But I will say that things have dramatically improved, obviously from the Civil War to present. They've dramatically improved. The Reconstruction was not good. Jim Crow era was not good. The Civil Rights movement in the 60s and a little bit in the 50s really helped advance equality for all African Americans, and that cause does not end just with the passage of the civil rights laws. It continues with the enforcement of those laws, and it continues with open dialogues between African Americans and those who are not African Americans. But it's also a dialogue with people who are Latino, who are from Asia. I mean, there are racial discussions that we all have to listen to each other and hear each other, and then address those concerns.
Thanks.
And the only thing I would add to that is that yes, there has been hatred in the past, and it is greatly improving. This is a good thing. One evidence that I will give you of that improvement is today when we see people being discriminated against because they're black, for example, the majority of the people watching disapprove. The majority of the people will stand up and say, we don't approve of that, we don't like that, that is not who we are. And it's only the minority, and they're loud, but they're still just the minority that persist. When we see the majority of the people standing up against racism, where before we didn't see that, that to me seems like progress. It seems like we're moving in the right direction. And eventually those little pieces of racism and discrimination will become smaller and smaller until eventually they're gone. And the way that they do that is by us getting to know each other, us being part of each other's lives.
I'll add, and I agree 100% with, of course, with Vic, and agree things have dramatically improved. But I do want to add, I don't want to indicate by any stretch that things are done, that things are perfect. For example, the unemployment rate for African Americans is considerably higher than it is for whites. The incarceration rates are dramatically higher for African Americans than they are for whites. You can go down the laundry list from salary to their net worth is dramatically less. Their ability to afford opportunities for higher education are less. So I don't want to suggest that it's done. What I will suggest, I believe, is that when I was born in 1960, you still had segregated bathrooms. And in my lifetime, we actually elected an African American president. So things have improved. There's still more to be done.
يقول نعم أيام الحروب الأهلية بدأت تقل. صحيح ظهر رجل سيء اسمه جيم كراو كان يبث الكراهية بشكل كبير جدا، ولكنها والحمد لله نتيجة الوعي قلت بصورة كبيرة جدا، ولا يكاد يعني تذكر كل كراهية موجودة، ولكن يعني انخفضت بشكل كبير جدا. وفي آخر كلامه يقول هو ولد في عام 1960، وكان سابقا يعني الحمامات حمام البيض غير عن حمام السود، لكن اليوم والحمد لله نحن انتخبنا رجلا أسود من البشرة السوداء، فأصبحت الأمور يعني أفضل بكثير. صاحبه يقول نعم يتفق أن الكراهية قلت بشكل كبير جدا، وبدليل على أنه لو أحد بث كراهية الناس تثور هنا يعني بشكل كبير ضد ذلك الشخص. ومع هذا الصوت أحيانا يكون صوت قليل من الناس أيضا أحيانا يرتفع تارة، ولكن مع ذلك أن الكراهية انخفضت بشكل كبير جدا. في آخر حديثنا نريد بشكل بسيط رسالة سريعة للعالم تبثوها من دالاس.
There's so much that we have in common. It would be a shame for us not to meet, not to get to know each other better, because there's so much that we could share.
At this time, I would say, do not judge our country, do not judge us by who our president is. And I was going to add, if I might, that the person who cuts my hair and the person who owns the salon where my hair is cut they're all Muslim and they're from Afghanistan. And I consider them very good friends. And for the most part, I believe most Americans, most Texans, and certainly that applies to us, we don't care what your religious beliefs are. What we care is who you are and how you treat others. And that's the standard by which I try to live. I believe that's the standard by which Vic tries to live, and I think that's the appropriate standard to judge everyone.
يقول فيك على أنه ينبغي أن نتعرف على الآخر وأن نجلس مع الآخر وأن يجلس بعضنا إلى الآخر وأن نكسر هذا الحاجز البعد الذي بيننا. ويقول مورك على أنه طبعا لا تنظروا إلى الولايات المتحدة من خلال رئيسها وخطابه، فانظروا إلى الشعب الأمريكي وكذلك إلى أمريكا هي شيء آخر. وكذلك يقول أنه لا ينبغي أن نكره الآخر بل ينبغي أن نحب الآخر. ويتعامل هو مع حلاق، وهذا الحلاق لأسرة أفغانية مسلمة. وطبعا هو أيضا في غير هذا الحديث بينه علاقة جيدة مع المسلمين وأيضا مع كافة الأديان، وتعامل معه تعامل كبير معهم، وحقيقة عندهم تعايش كبير. وفي الختام أشكر الأستاذ مورك وأشكر الأستاذ فيك، ونشكركم أيها السادة المشاهدون على حسن الاستماع والإنصات. وإلى لقاء آخر في برنامج حوارات ومع الحلقة 52. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. شكرا. سوري عاد أحسنتم.